This is the dual entry form. This is what we use to enter your listing. It's kind of intimidating, but it's not a big deal. We'll help you through it. Section 1 is just information that identifies your property. We filled in most of this for you. One thing I do want you to check, though, are the schools down toward the bottom of that section. Sometimes school districts change. Just make sure that's still current. In Part 2, we fill out all the areas that we agreed on, including price and list date, expiration date, and so forth. So that's pretty self-explanatory. We'll probably have that filled out for you. Part 3 has a lot of information that we'll pull from your tax record. One thing I would like for you to check, though, is the bedrooms, baths, and half baths. Make sure that's accurate. It's not always correct. Sometimes we pull it from an old listing. Sometimes we pull it from the tax record, different areas. So make sure that's accurate and look over this and make sure it looks right to you. Part 4, that's about your master fee, your assessments, and your association information. Be sure and fill that out. There is actually another disclosure for that, but because this is what's used to enter your listing, be sure and fill that out to the extent that you have that information. The next couple of pages are descriptions. There's an art to that and really a science as well to make them be picked up by all the sites that we try to address. We have a certain way that we write those. So don't worry about descriptions. We'll write the descriptions for you. The pages beyond that are all check boxes. These are all search fields. If you know the answer to all of these, go ahead and put it in there. If you're not sure about a certain type of wood or whatever, just leave it blank. Some of these fields are required. We may have to come back to you on certain things, but for the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory. And we filled out as much as we could based on your tax record, or if you had an old listing, we pulled that information. So hopefully that's helpful. On page 7, you identify your utility sources for water and sewer. If you will, please initial those once they're entered. We probably checked that before we filled out the paperwork, but do initial that just so we're sure we did it correctly. The last page is pretty self-explanatory. Just check the ones that apply. Don't worry about a virtual tour. That's something we do. And at the bottom, you basically sign and date it to show that we have the information correct. And that's it. It's not too bad. But as always, we're here to help you if you need to ask questions. Thanks so much.